Hello. I somehow miraculously made it, only 2 minutes late, so that's fabulous news. I was coming home from Merimbula and just totally forgot that roadwork was a thing, so I've made it. And so I've got Jane and Mandy. Hey, gals. How you going? I'm in my very professional office today. I have a really special backdrop. I'm in my momtrepreneur car because time got tight, and why not? I've got my hotspot. Yeah, that kind of thing. Not normally. Normally I like a house with teacups and a kettle, but every day's different. Hello, Michelle. Hey, Leah. Well, it's nice to see some new faces and some old faces. Yeah, those freaking roadworks. And it's like, anyway, whatever. I was just doing my deep breathing. I'm alive. It was fine. It's nice to see you guys today. I'm so excited about Crowdcast. Yes, we must have just done our usual mind reading. I'm loving Crowdcast. I'm just going to give the quick Crowdcast update because, yeah, it's a bit like Blab is what it reminds me of. I mean, I can't have 4 presenters at once, but I can bring people on, which is kind of exciting. And it does sort of build up this bank of content where people can, like now that you guys have registered for this, you can access stuff that I've done before, I think. And it means I sort of have this bank of content, and you can also monetize it. You can multi-stream it. So I don't have my act together to do it today, but you can multi-stream it as a Facebook Live and a YouTube Live at the same time, which is pretty cool. So you get heaps of interactivity options, and yeah, then I can set up paid products on here, and you can have unlisted and all kinds of cool stuff. And I know another woman who's using it, and so she's doing one-on-one interviews, and then she's turning it into her podcast. So just unspeakably excited about it. It is a bit more expensive than Zoom, but thinking it's going to do a lot for me, and I'm happy with it at the moment. So we'll see what happens. So the main reason I harked ye all here today was on the premise of telling you some amazing secret about content libraries. It's true, I am going to talk about having a content library because now I'm managing almost maybe a dozen, I think more than a dozen clients with their social media now. And that means I am getting really good at making lots of content and finding all the ways to make it easier for myself. Which has always been a thing I've been doing. So a bunch of you have probably seen my ebook, which is all about doing all your social media in 2 hours a week. And that was when I was doing social media management before, and I still do kind of use that technique. I think it's a great technique. If you haven't got it yet, you'll find the link on my website, I reckon, or somewhere. I can type it in later. So it's just about finding a way to make the content, right? The content has to happen. And it's a bit like a torture chamber for some of us. Like, what do I say? And it's kind of this horrible thing. And you sit down and think, what do I say tomorrow? Or, do I have to do this? How's this going to work? And so I've been using Buffer instead of Facebook for scheduling posts. So basically what I realized was once you've posted on Buffer a bunch of times, then you click this other magical button called analytics, and everything that you've ever posted before, definitely up to the last month. I think if you're on a paid plan, you get more, but it shows you the analytics on what you've posted. And you can also do this thing they call rebuffer. So the reason I like this better than using scheduling tools, like the publishing tools, and then using schedule posts inside Facebook is like, you can post to LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, or wherever else, Pinterest, at the same time, which is one big bonus. And that's definitely a thing I do for loads of clients. And the other thing is this cool analytics option that basically creates a content library without even trying. So you do still have to make the content in the first place. There kind of is no getting around that. But the benefit of this is that you have it all sitting there. You can see what you posted before, and Buffer actually tells you which ones performed well. So let's have a look at it. I'm going to screen share now. It's all very exciting. Well, I don't know about that. I was listening to this podcast. Michelle's just asked, she has used Buffer, but she thought she had to use Facebook's native scheduler or else Facebook would punish her. So the algorithm is such a, not punish, penalize, that's a much better word. Facebook is so freaking mysterious. And I was listening to a podcast today about the algorithm, and the woman said the algorithm has 100,000 what they call weights. So there's 100,000 factors that affect whether or not you're going to show up in someone's newsfeed. And there is basically 1,500 pieces of content at most that people can have in their newsfeed per day. So look, Facebook algorithm, it's like it's oh my God, it's a hard question to answer, isn't it? I still recommend posting daily on Facebook, because definitely if you haven't been posting and then you start posting, you can see your reach is much better. I mean, it's kind of obvious. If you're not posting anything, Facebook doesn't have anything to put into people's feeds. So I totally advocate for posting daily. In terms of all the other weights, so all those other things that affect it, it's quite likely that Facebook does penalize you for it. But I actually don't know. And even this woman today who was speaking, who's like the Facebook marketing expert, really didn't have an answer. Like, she said she knows of half a dozen of the weights, which I would think to be like time, frequency, like the relationship you have with people, whether they've shared, commented, or liked, and some of those other really basic ones. And it's a thing I don't have an answer for, I think, is what I'm trying to get to. But aside from that, if using Buffer means you're going to post more often, then that's great. Especially because you can do it using the Facebook publisher as well. You can just sit down in an hour and have all your content out. Definitely, you can create a week of posts in 1 hour. I just used Facebook to schedule 2 months worth of daily posts. Nice. And I mean, the beauty of it is once you have your content, that's right. Once you've got a first chunk of content, then you can come back. So this is what happens. So you come into Buffer, la-di-da. There's a bunch of cool stuff that Buffer does. You get one platform, one account for each platform for free. So you've got I've chosen my Facebook page, but you could post to your Facebook personal, or you can post to your Facebook group. It's really cool. I like being able to post to the Facebook group. I actually haven't used this for months because I am like the slackest marketer of my own business in the world. You guys probably know that already. I'm just a shocker. I'm like currently too busy marketing everybody else, which is great news. So the cool thing you can do, number one, is set a schedule time. So I've got 2 times set, which I think is great. Like if you manage to post twice a day, yay for you. You can change these up depending on, look at your analytics and see how things are going. Oh yeah, you've got to change your time zone. I don't know why I'm Malaysia. Maybe I've been on a secret holiday that even I don't know about. So that's number one, sort out your scheduler. Then you go to make content and it's going to pop up and show us like all the, normally it has all these little boxes here of all the future shares. Maybe it's because I've got limited data. So basically all you do is come in here, go, okay, I'm going to post it to Twitter and Google Plus and my LinkedIn all at once, this fabulous post. You just add your photo in the normal way, like any kind of thing. You upload something, you write your caption, and of course if you're posting to Twitter you can only do a short caption, and then once there's some words there, I'm allowed to add it to the queue, and it just automatically punks it into the next time slot, which is all very spiffy. That's speedy 101 Buffer. That was crazy fast. Now the next funky thing, hey Renee, my awesome favorite thing about Buffer that I really wanted to share with you that creates a content library without even having to try is everything you've posted before shows up here. So this is back in February when I had a little Buffer binge. And I actually thought that these expired. So I was really glad to see that they don't expire. So everything you've posted before shows up here. Now, depending on what platform you've chosen, it shows you the analytics for that platform. So this is the analytics for stuff I posted in Twitter because obviously they all behave differently. So this one actually had a like. I don't know what 131 potential means. It tells you how many likes they have. or how many retweets and all that kind of thing. So obviously I'm not hanging out on Twitter much. I'm not getting a lot of engagement there. I did get a mention. So that just helps you. You see the little blue square, you go, sweet, that did well. And then you just come over here and click rebuffer. So then that puts it back into your feed, which is great news. And you just pops up like this, and then you just say add to queue. And you could do it across multiple platforms. You could see, I'll do it again from Facebook. So what performed well in Facebook, you can see the reach. If you got likes or comments or shares, it all pops up there. So none of these really performed that well. Same one, good reach, awesome. I'll just rebuffer something else. 2 clicks, great. So rebuffer, and then if you want to share it to more platforms, you just choose the other platforms and away you go. And it just adds it to the queue. So that is my big hack. I use this thing a lot for all my clients. I love it. The only thing I don't do from there is Instagram. I still love Later the best. Can you access your Facebook posts in Buffer? Really, what you can access in Buffer is what you've buffered already. So once you start posting your content from Buffer, then it will show up over here in Analytics. So you have to start posting from Buffer, and then you can rebuffer it. So Mandy, this solves our problem that we had the other day of how to reschedule posts from within. Oh, isn't that the inception? Yep, because we couldn't find a way to repost from within Facebook, and we weren't very happy about that. And then I remembered that Buffer does it. So that's basically it. I guess another tip I can give you guys about creating content is my one thing tip, which I've heard Katie Wyatt talk about, and I've heard a bunch of people talk about. It's not like rocket science, but the trick with your content is to have just one thing that you do that you can unpack into so many other things. So, you know, ideally, if you like to write, that's fab. I'm so happy for you. I wish I had that problem. You could write your blog. Try to do it once a week. Even if you don't, if you write big chunky blogs, you might be able to get weeks and weeks of content out of that. Or you might have some old ones, you can talk about them as well. So you get the blog. Then from that, you can make an email. I wouldn't just regurgitate the blog in the email. I really don't like that. But just talking around the same topic, finding some different words to say the same thing, enticing people to get to the website. Because the beautiful the beautiful thing about getting people to the website is if you have the pixel over there, then you're getting people into your Facebook analytics so that you can advertise to them. So really, in terms of the algorithm and what Facebook's going to penalize you for, you really just do need to have a little marketing budget. So, you know, I spoke to a woman the other day and she spends $450 before every webinar. And she was just, that's how it was. She's like, yep, I have a budget of $450 before every webinar. And I thought, wow. Oh, see you, Michelle. It's great to see you. Yeah, so business people have business budgets, and if you want to run a business, then you need to have a substantial marketing budget, and then it's just a matter of what you're allocating that to. So you're going to allocate $50 a week to list building, or you're going to allocate $50, or you know how many hundreds of dollars to this launch. So really, if you're running a launch for $1,000 product and you're going to sell a dozen of those, you're probably going to need to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads. I haven't started running Facebook ads training because other people do it really well, and it's just so freaking complex and full on. So I'm not that girl. I know Bianca Van Meeuwen does. There's another woman called Claire Palatro who does amazing ads training. And I mean, she might have closed her early bird now, but she has some really cool training that I am actually probably going to do as well, just to get more up to speed. But I guess I can do basic things like show you how to put the pixel on and then how to run an ad from that pixel. Or I could just do basic. That's great. If you think people would want to see that, I'm super happy to do that. I'm like I'll just do whatever people want to see kind of girl. Oh, my video. Yeah, basics. I mean, basics is a really good place to start. And yeah, I just checked my video. It's working for me. So I'm sorry, Kathy. I don't know what's happened. It might just be being wiggy. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, next week I'll do Facebook basics. My plan is totally just to hang out with people and do really short trainings where I'm just giving you something you can walk away with and try, and just be at the mercy of people's requests. Pleasure. Thank you. I just love to hang out online with people. Makes it feel alive. Cool. Yep. All right. Well, next week I'll do Facebook ads, and I'll put the link in the hearts. It'll be everywhere. I'll do the hearts in a group, and I'll do my page and the group and all those places. It'll be around. My pleasure. I hope that's helpful. I reckon get on Buffer, give it a go. If I had a link to share with you, I would share it with you, but they don't do any kind of affiliate thing. So definitely you can get heaps out of it for free. And the Awesome Plan's great if you want more platforms. So have a great Arvo. I'm going to go and do some more breathing and just chill the heck out. Oh, good luck. It's pretty cruisy. I really prefer it to Hootsuite. It's just more visual, or there's something easier about it for me. I quite love it, and it hardly ever crashes on me. It's really well behaved. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming along, and I'll see you next week or another time. This is my jam. I'm going to be doing this on, and I'll see you soon. Bye.